Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the League Zero Racing Series, the premier Formula 3 iRacing League. Today, we're at the virtual Suzuka International Racing Course. As always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East, bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second. As we get ready to send out our drivers on the grid, we're going to take a quick look at the points. Russell Soto still on top with 227 points. Aguilar with 203. Tritton with 149. And the Constructors' Championship still being owned by SB Grand Prix with 349 points. As always, thank you to our friends at Martial Arts for providing such cool overlays here. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's grid, though. Starting on pole, you've got Russell Soto, the number 50. Flo Dom starting second. Brendan Dewan starting third. Raymond Aguilar starting fourth. Danilo Sparapani starting fifth. Brad Tritton starting 6th on tonight's grid. John Clayton starting 7th. Nick Peterson starting 8th. Ryan Thibault starting 9th. Varun Patel starting 10th. Chase Small starting 11th. Jared Ziegler starting 12th. Cycle back, we've got Michael Roslin starting 13th. Gareth McAllister starting 14th. Antonio Bianchi starting 15th. Peter Rettinger 16th. Michael Fairchild starting 17th. Norman King 18th. Xavier Zanave starting 19th. Kenneth Huddock starting 20th. Anthony Asanati starting 21st. John Kasai 22nd. Simon Fellow starting 23rd. Hunter Graves starting 24th. And that is going to do it for the grid. We've got our competitors on the line. We're going to get them ready to go, and the lights will go here at Suzuka. As we are still waiting for Doms to make his way out on track in the number 31 machine. Now, this is the feature event. It's going to be 45 minutes long if they are unable to complete the required laps in time. So let's see what our drivers can do. We've seen the racers marred with a couple of full course cautions in weeks prior. So hopefully they will be able to avoid that here today. But the pace lights are about to come on, the race lights, I should say, and we're going to get this party started here at Suzuka. Already the start going much better than last week. Russell Soto holds on to the lead, but Dwan also trying to make his way around Doms here. Are we going to be able to get through turn one clean? So far, so good for our drivers. Right in time, Brad Tritt in the number 9, or excuse me, Brandon Dwan in the 96 goes off track. Several other drivers off track. Ziegler, Huddock, Bianchi all going off track. Let's see, it has not affected Soto out front. Dom second. Aguilar has grabbed a spot, the easy way number 83 machine to take over a third here so far. Right now we don't show the lap times remaining on the left side of your screen. Not sure what's going on there. Mayor Patel involved in an incident early on as well. He will go off track, but able to get it pointed the right direction. As always, the Lead Zero drivers have a policy. If you bin it and have to take a tow back to pit lane, you are retired for the evening, as we're going to see Kenneth Huddock have to retire early here today. Looks like Dwan also going to be coming in very early, and he will be retired for the event. Got a lot of action going on for the battle for eighth. Chase Small right at the ball. Nick Peterson all in the mix here. Always a lot of tight racing here for the League Zero drivers. And Brad Tritton is going to have problems with the number 26 machine. That is going to allow McAllister, the ball Small, and I believe Peterson all to make it through, as Tritton is now down 4 spots from where he started. Check a nice tight angle of Russell Soto, your race leader, out front in charge. He's got about a 1 second gap over Doms. And Doms is about to have a lot of pressure from Aguilar in the number 83 machine. Now Soto and Aguilar have been two of the most winningest drivers here this season in the Formula 3 series, with both drivers really finding their grooves about midway through a race and putting down some of the fastest laps. It's a 20-lap feature event here today. And then we're going to invert the top 10 for the sprint race, which is always all sorts of exciting. And I've got to say, as an outsider looking in, the drivers look almost like the car is a little uncomfortable in several sections of the circuit here today, really having to slow them down to get pointed in the right direction. And these are the type of cars that the faster you go, the better they like to handle. So it's going to be interesting to see how those lower speed sections affect these drivers. As Doms has found some speed, he's whittled down the gap that Soto has to about 0.8 of a second. Got several good battles out on track here today. Bianchi is going to possibly lose another spot to Xavier Zanave. No, he's going to pick up a couple spots over Xavier Zanave. Hunter Graves also trying to make his way through, almost making contact with Xavier. I think he did, or it could have been netcode. Zanave is going to go way off track. The number 12 machine, try and get it pointed in the right direction. Hopefully he didn't sustain too bad of damage here. Ziegler, number 57, he's up 1 spot so far tonight. Current hard charger early in the race. Gareth McAllister, the Aussie in the number 25 machine, has gained 5 spots to push his way inside the top 10 quite comfortably, now 9th on track. And he's going to chase down right at the ball, Chase Small. A lot of fast guys. We call the action every week. As we see a little bit of smoke from some of the drivers talking to them coming into tonight's race, I believe they're a lot more comfortable than weeks prior with the setup, really clicking better with the drivers. Varun Patel goes off track once more, the number 99. He will take a tow back to pit lane and retire for the evening. So we're going to check in on Chase Small on the number 5 machine. His last time by, a 1:55.74. Your race leader, Soto, has clicked off the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:53.31. As we check in on our race leader, he still has about a 1 second gap to Doms. Doms has all sorts of company, though, with Raymond Aguilar trying to get up there and pick up another spot as we go on board with Aguilar in the number 83 machine. Currently third on track, up 1 spot here today. Let's see what his time is as it updates. Soto clicks off a 1:52.53, Doms with a 1:52.81, Aguilar with a 1:52.8. So these drivers are getting fairly quick as the run progresses, getting a little bit of heat of tires, getting more comfortable out on track. And that can make all the difference for these guys late in a run. John Casai picks up a spot from Hunter Graves. But he's also having a bit of internet problems here today. He's going to have to keep an eye on that, or he will be waved off to the side to allow faster drivers with a more stable connection through. A beautiful day here at Suzuka. Fairly warm temperatures for our drivers, a little bit humid, but a fairly warm track, so which should be conducive to some quick lap times here today. Going to be interesting to see if Soto, Doms, Aguilar, your top 3 drivers who clicked off 152s that last time by, may be able to tip into the 151s as the track really starts to develop here. Soto has extended his gap over Doms. Aguilar has fallen off a little bit as well, now about 9/10 behind second place Doms. We've got a great battle here between, oh no! Fairchild and Bianchi go off track. A hard hit for both drivers. Fairchild and Bianchi heavily involved. Is Bianchi going to be able to continue here? Or no, was that Peter Redinger? Looks like Bianchi's still charging forward in the number 17 machine, so possibly not involved in that incident. Let's take a quick look back at it. And let's take a look at it once more. It's actually going to be Fairchild and Redinger going side by side. Fairchild on the right side of your screen and the pink and white number 88. Redinger on the left side and the all black number 44. And let's see where it all goes wrong. Looked like maybe Fairchild hit the curbing ever so slightly. A tough one to call, but both drivers going to go careening around. Redinger may have had the best luck of that one, as Fairchild is going to absolutely hammer the inside wall here at the circuit. And Bianchi was able to get through clean, so I believe Redinger will be able to keep going, but Fairchild will be done for the evening, I am afraid. Back up front, Soto still clicking off laps, has a 1.3 second advantage over Doms. And Doms has about a 1 second gap over third place Aguilar. And yes, Redinger will come down pit road. To try and get that machine hammered back into shape after that heavy damage between himself and Michael Fairchild, the number 88 pilot. These drivers about a quarter of the way through here tonight. And all sorts of action here today. Got another battle out on track. Gareth McAllister getting within a half second of Brad Trenton. but he's also got Jared Ziegler, the Oval Pro, and the number 57 right behind him. McAllister up 4 spots into 10th, but let's see what Ziegler's going to be able to do, and the number 57 to see if he can pick up another spot. Might have missed the shift there. But I've got to say, every week, always impressed with these drivers, putting on a great show for us here at home. And when these guys crash, which is not super often, they usually do so in an absolutely spectacular manner. As let's see where Ziegler's going to make a move here against McAllister in the number 25 machine. He is right on his rear bumper. This is the battle for 10th on track right now. And Ziegler's got to know if he can get inside the top 10, that'll put him on pole for the sprint race with that inverted top 10 grid. McAllister has a bit of a bobble as they go side by side. Ziegler will pick up the spot, but this battle has cost them precious time, as now Ziegler's about 1.75 seconds behind Trenton and the number 26 machine. Doms, last time by, comes out the fastest lap of the race with a 1:52.23. Just about a 10th faster than your race leader Soto was that last time by. But it is all about consistency here at the League Zero Race Series. That is what wins championships more than hot lapping, is being able to keep yourself out of trouble, inevitable trouble that occasionally strikes here. As again, right now you're watching the closest battle out on track. Jared Ziegler has made his way around McAllister. McAllister doing a great job staying in the toe of Ziegler's number 57 Porsche back to race car. Running a special paint and livery here today. But let's see if Ziegler's going to be able to catch up to Trenton. Trenton about 2 seconds ahead of Ziegler. Meanwhile, he's got his head down to try and catch Ryan Thibault and the number 27 machine to get within striking distance of that 7th place battle. He's about 1.2 seconds back. But that last lap by him was about 5/10 faster than Thibault. Going to be interesting to see how this plays a role. Now, as a reminder to our viewers at home, this is a one-stop race for our drivers in the feature event. Look at that. Soto clicks off a 1:51.94 his last time by. We talk about it week in and week out. The guys just keep getting faster and faster and more consistent as the season progresses. Soto has generally been the driver to beat here, but we've seen misfortune strike at the oddest times. Now with a bit more open track at Suzuka compared to places we've been such as Long Beach, it's less likely to see a full course caution. But last week we had 2 of them, so nobody knows. Everybody shows up, races as clean as they can, but sometimes misfortune strikes at the worst possible moments. Soto has extended his lead to about 1.75 seconds over Doms. Doms last time by a 1:52.37. And he's got Aguilar getting within striking distance here. It is less than a second gap between 2nd place Flo Doms, the number 31 machine, and 3rd place Raymond Aguilar. Still 19 drivers on the lead lap here, with, I believe, 4 drivers that had to retire early. Michael Fairchild, Varun Patel, Brandon Dewan, Kenneth Huddock, all having to come down pit road early on tonight, making it to, at most, lap 4 among those drivers listed before tragedy struck. Aguilar still trying to get within striking distance. These top 3 drivers so fast, so consistent. It is extremely tough to make up any time here unless your competition makes a bit of a bobble. As the gap between Doms and Aguilar has still been hovering right at that 1 second mark. Now, as a reminder, again, it is a fixed series here at the the League Zero Formula 3 series. So all these drivers on the exact same equipment as far as in the sim goes. And it is all about that connection between the seat and the steering wheel that makes this series so great. Antonio Bianchi shows involved with an off-track. Looks like no harm, no fouls. Number 17 machine will keep pointing the right direction. Peter Rettinger has retired, and the number 44 machine, our latest victim here at Suzuka. Ryan Thibault, Brad Tritton about to be involved in a battle. Thibault on the left side of your screen, Tritton on the inside, able to get through nice and clean. Oh, Thibault goes very wide. The exact same spot that Bianchi pushed it wide, but no harm, no foul. Tritton will pick up the spot, put his way up into 8th. But great racing all across the circuit here today, not quite to the halfway mark. As now Tritton, he's going to try and work on that 2.6 second advantage that Chase Small currently holds. Small running 7th on track, up 4 positions in his number 5 machine. Of very clean racers. It looks like Aguilar has fallen off slightly from Doms. He's now about 1.7 seconds back. He was about a half second slower his last lap. Not sure if he had maybe a bit of a bobble. As, oh no, now Norman King shows involved in an incident. In a very dangerous place to try and rejoin. He's got to be extremely careful here. King gets it pointing the right back in the right direction. I don't think he has too much damage on the number 28 machine, but a great job with a safe rejoin. The last thing you want to do for these drivers is pull out and ruin someone else's race. These guys put in so much work throughout the week to get ready for these events. And let me tell you, from a broadcaster and a racer's point of view, it is absolutely heartbreaking when there's an issue out on track that's not necessarily your fault. Aguilar, the number 83 machine, will be the first driver in the top really 20 here. Going to dive down pit lane. Chase Small also going to come in. I believe Soto's going to stretch it out as well as Doms. So Aguilar and Chase Small, the only 2 drivers that have boxed or are boxing so far. Always interesting to see how the pit stop strategy affects the races here in League Zero, allowing these guys to show their prowess on and off the track as far as strategy and planning goes. Dom still about 1.8 seconds behind your race leader Russell Soto in the number 50 machine. And Dom's in second place. He's got about a 5.2 second advantage over Danilo Sparapani, running 3rd here today in the number 9 machine. Sparapani kind of in no man's land here. He's about 5 seconds back from Dom's and about 2.6 seconds ahead of Nick Peterson, who's running 4th in the number 24 machine. Antonio Bianchi running 10th. It's about to have a little bit of pressure from John Kasai. Kasai, though, has had very, very bad internet problems here today with some major blinks. That's going to make it very tough for these two drivers to make any moves when you can't really predict where the other car is going to be. As once again you see Kasai blinking in and out as he catches the draft of Bianchi. Bianchi about 2.7 seconds back from McAllister. Not quite sure what transpired there to put McAllister up another spot. It could have been the drivers of Raymond Aguilar and Chase Small coming down to pit lane that maybe switched things up. As now McAllister and Bianchi are going to come in. How long is Soto going to stay out here for? He is gaining time over the rest of the field as he clicks off these laps. Now the pit stop involved takes about 32 to 34 seconds for these drivers. From the time they cross the entry cones to the time they leave the pit lane with those final exit cones. Aguilar running 11th on track. He's about 31.6 seconds behind your race leader Soto. So in theory, if Soto comes in, takes just fuel, Aguilar should be right there with him after the pit cycle is complete. Soto's last time by a 1:52.33. Aguilar with a not showing yet since he's on his out lap. Very impressed with Dom's performance here as well, number 31 machine. He's had a few rough races earlier on in the season, but if he can get out front, get that clean air and hit his marks, he's been very, very quick, and he's not losing a whole lot of time to Soto, who just clicked off the fastest lap of the race with a 1:51.9 flat. Dom still staying within striking distance. Dom's clicked off a 1:52.09, so about 2/10 off the pace of Russell Soto. Nick Peterson, number 24 machine, he'll come down pit lane for his one stop of the night. But I am extremely intrigued to see how this pit cycle is going to affect the race leader, Russell Soto. As right now we're keeping an eye on Aguilar, who's 10th on track, number 83 machine. Aguilar's last time by a 1:52.63 with those fresher tires, with just the fuel. I don't believe these guys are taking tires with those quick pit stops here today. Gonna double set their tires to get back out there, keep that track position. Xavier Zanave, Gareth McAllister, both in pit lane for their one stop, coming in on lap 12. As Doms can keep Soto in sight, that's going to help him put down some fastest laps on his behalf. Let's see what updates as Soto gets ready to click off another lap here today at Suzuka to see if he improves on that 1:51.9 he did the lap prior. Still about 2.4 seconds ahead of second place Doms. And now it's John Clayton in third in the number 41 machine. Soto with a 1:52.10, Doms with a 1:52.54. Anthony Asenati has big problems back in 15th. Looks to be like a self-spin, not too much damage on the number 23 machine. And fortunately, he has not pitted yet, so this will give him an opportunity to maybe tweak on the car if there is any sort of damage. Very surprised your race leader Soto still out front, clicking them off. And again, it's going to be a really close battle between himself and Aguilar after the pit cycle is complete. Most drivers, again, about 33 to 34 second long total pit lane times, and Aguilar is about 32.75 seconds back from your race leader. This will be extremely interesting to see as the pit cycle finally gets underway for these drivers. We've seen a fair amount of single car incidents, but not really the absolute yard sales we've seen in weeks prior. Soto's still out front. He's got a 2.6-second lead over Doms. John Clayton running in third. Haven't talked about Clayton much here so far this season, the number 41 machine. He's about 0.3 of a second ahead of Danilo Sparapani and the number 9 machine. Your race leader Soto is coming in on lap 13 for his pit cycle. Doms opts to stay out. As Clayton also comes down pit road, that is going to put Doms as your race leader ever so briefly before the pit cycle finishes up here, but he will get a lap led here at Suzuka. Let's see what Soto, where he comes out on track at. He's going to come out on track about 3, maybe 4 seconds ahead of Raymond Aguilar, the number 83 machine. Roslin, I believe, has returned to pit road after several incidents. So right now your running order is Dom, Sparapani, Tritton, Ziegler, Soto, the top 5. But Dom's, your race leader, is going to enjoy the limelight here in the number 31 machine, stretching out that fuel as far as it'll possibly go. Now, the majority of the drivers only spent about 4 to 5.5 seconds actually in the pit box splashing off the fuel. I'm not sure if this may be a strategy by Doms to have to put in less fuel in the number 31 machine. As he does have about a 13-second advantage over Sparapani. And now Doms will come down pit road. Let's see if Sparapani does the same in the number 9 machine, or if he's going to opt to stay out. And no, your top 4 drivers, Dom, Sparapani, Tritton, Ziegler, all coming down pit road. That should put Soto back in the race lead, as Doms will quickly exit his pit stall and get back out on track just behind the race leader. So now it is once again Soto, Doms, and Aguilar running 1, 2, 3 here today. Sparapani in 4th after his pit stop. No, Peterson 4th, Sparapani 5th. And this is almost an identical running order to what we saw previous to the pit cycle. The driver's not as close as I kind of expected here with only 5 laps left to go. Aguilar about 4 seconds back from your race leader, Russell Soto. Now, kind of an interesting tidbit, Soto, somebody that has a bit of interest in maybe broadcasting in the future. You may see him up in the booth later on this season, which would be very, very cool, honestly, to have the number 50 machine join us a time or two up here in the booth. Antonio Bianchi still running 12th out on track. He's up 3 spots, but he's had a couple of off-track shenanigans here today. but still able to hold on to it and score some points. Here's the battle between Jared Ziegler and Chase Small. Ziegler, number 57 machine, Small in the number 5. Now both of these drivers have already pitted. Ziegler came in on lap 14, Small came in on lap 9, but this is the battle for 8th on screen. As Ryan Thibault in the number 27, he also wants to get in on this as well, following the draft of Ziegler and Small. Oh, they make contact. They go around. Ziegler and Small both involved. Small getting the worst bit of it, tagging that wall. And that is going to take out Ziegler and Small. They both have damage. And Small just not able to get it pointing the right direction. I'm not sure if Ziegler's able to get it back out on track. He is. Chase Small is going to take a tow back to pit lane and he'll be retired. So that is going to put Ziegler in 9th here, the number 57 machine. What a night here at Suzuka. As both those drivers just kind of running out of real estate here today. Look at this, Nick Peterson, he's getting company from Sparapani for the battle for 4th. This will be Sparapani's first time lap since his pit stop. As you go on board with Sparapani, trying to catch up to Peterson, who's running 4th on track. He's going to make a dive bomb going into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Looks to do so relatively cleanly. No harm, no foul, no over-aggression here. But Peterson is going to try and answer as quickly as he can. And the number 24 machine. He wants that 4th spot that Sparapani now currently owns. But I think Sparapani is going to be able to check out just ever so slightly here and get some room to breathe. As again, you're watching Nick Peterson currently 5th on track. Just was overtaken by Sparapani in the number 9 machine. Sparapani is up 1 spot. Peterson is up 3 spots from where they started here today in the feature event here at Suzuka. Very clean race for these guys, only 3 laps left to go, as it is still Soto out front in the number 50 machine. He's got about almost a 3-second advantage over Doms and about a 5.4-second advantage over Aguilar. Again, a little bit more spread out than what was expected after their green flag pit stops. Soto's last time by, a 152.26. His fastest of the session was a 151.9. But with that 3-second advantage he currently has over Doms, I don't think he's going to be really pressing the pace too much here. It is effectively his lead to throw away, and that is the last thing you want to do when you're leading the Points Championship as well as any race. And now Soto will have lap traffic to contend with for what I believe is the first time of the night. I believe that could be King in the number 28 machine. You will be seeing the race leader approach. And it is. That is Norman King, number 28 machine, who will very shortly be going a lap down to your race leader, Soto. King has had a few incidents here today, maybe driving with a slightly tweaked race car. As Soto in the background charging hard. You can see Doms as well in the background doing his best to keep up with your race leader. John Clayton with an off track, as well as Brad Tritt, and that's the battle for 6. Drivers must have had a bit of an incident there, but we're going to check back on Soto as we want to see him cut through traffic when given the opportunity. King, a very talented driver in his own right, the number 28 machine. We've called several series that he's involved with, be it open wheel professional racing or the stock car racing and trucks. Always great to see him out on track. And unfortunately just being marred with a bit of bad luck here today. We are on lap 19 out of 24, the feature event here at League Zero Formula 3. It's Soto out front with about 3.2 second advantage over Doms, with about a 6.3 second advantage over Aguilar. As now Soto has caught traffic, I believe King will yield the line to him here. He will do so giving the inside line to your race leader, Russell Soto. As now King will go a lap down, almost got too far off track, but able to keep it underneath him here. John Clayton, he's trying to catch up to Brad Tritt and the number 26 machine. These guys have been battling hard all night long for that 6th place spot. Usually staying less than a second between themselves here. And no, Clayton with a spin. Gonna go off track just all by himself here. Rejoins the circuit, tries to get the power down, but that's gonna allow Ryan Thibault to maybe make another pass here and gain another position. Every point matters. The white flag will fly for Russell Soto. As we are watching the battle for 7th unfold, Ryan Thibault, number 27 machine, trying to capitalize on the mistake of John Clayton and the number 41. As again, the white flag is out, not a lot of time left for these drivers to make any big moves. Thibault still about 7/10 of a second behind Clayton. I just don't know if he's going to have enough time here as they are on their final lap for the feature event. They'll have a short break and then get ready for the sprint race, which is always exciting for both drivers, broadcasters, and fans at home. We're going to check in on your race leader, Russell Soto. He's got about a 4.3 second gap to 2nd place, as he will catch up to Anthony Asanati, who had his fair share of problems here today. But that draft is also going to allow Soto to squeeze a little bit more time out of that number 50 machine, having the advantage of somebody else cutting through the air on his behalf. Asanati goes off track in the final section of the circuit, locks up the brakes, does not want to avoid, or wants to avoid coming back out on track. Russell Soto, though, will pick up the win here at Suzuka. Dom's taking a 2nd and Aguilar taking 3rd here today. A lot of very talented racers, always putting on a great show. As Russell Soto is going to show off for our fans at home before retiring back to pit lane. And that, my friends, is it for the feature event, the first race of the night for the League Zero Formula Series. It's Soto, Doms, and Aguilar bringing home the podium in their number 50, 31, and 83 machines, respectively. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the sprint race here at Suzuka, which is always an exciting time. Welcome back, race fans. We're getting ready to go back out for the sprint race, a 10-lap mad dash with an inverted top 10 grid and the top 8 drivers scoring points for this round. John Kasai will be starting on pole. Jared Ziegler will be starting second. Ryan Thibault starting third. John Clayton starting fourth. Brad Tritton starting fifth. Nick Peterson will be starting sixth. Danilo Sparapani starting seventh. Aguilar will be starting eighth. Flo Dom starting 9th, Russell Soto starting 10th, Antonio Bianchi will be 11th on the grid, Xavier Zanave will be 12th, Hunter Graves will be starting 13th, Norman King starting 14th, Anthony Asianti starting 15th, Gareth McAllister starting 16th, Chase Small will be starting 17th on the grid, Michael Roslin starting 18th, Peter Rettinger starting 19th, Michael Fairchild starting 20th, Varun Patel starting 21st, Kenneth Huddock starting 22nd, Simon Fellows starting 23rd, and then Brandon Dewan will round out our 24-car grid here today as we get ready to get them all out on track for the final time here tonight at Suzuka. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'm glad you stuck around as these sprint races are normally jam-packed full of action as we wait to get everybody out on the grid once more. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's John Kasai in the front row. Let's see what they can do here today. We've seen sprint races with absolutely dreadful starts in the past. So far, this one has not been the worst. John Kasai out front, Jared Ziegler in second. As look at Ryan Thibault going around as well in the number 27 machine. Looks to be so far so good. And no, we've spoken too soon. That's Nick Peterson. We're trying to get the camera focused on him. There's carnage here. Oh, what a crash. Nick Peterson, one of the first drivers involved with that one. Trying to see who else may have been involved. Possibly Norman King, Anthony Asianti, Gareth McAllister, Michael Roslin. John Kasai still out front. I don't believe we're going to bring out a full force caution for this one. So it's going to be Kasai, Ziegler, Clayton running 1, 2, 3. But let's take a quick look and see what happened there. We've got the camera focused on Peterson and the number 24, who's 6th on track. Who is that next to him? Is that Aguilar in the number 83? Aguilar dives it in pretty deep. Gets a couple wheels on the inside grass, but no, it's the number 31 of Doms that gets into Peterson. But watch this. Things are going to go from bad to worse for several drivers. As Peterson unfortunately gets bumped back out on the racetrack. And oh, what a hard hit. For I believe that's going to be Roslyn. Yes, it is. And the number 11 machine. Body work and aero just bouncing across the circuit here at Suzuka. But what a hard hit for several of the drivers. We're going to take it back out front. John Kasai leading the race here. Ziegler second, but he's got a whole lot of company from John Clayton, Ryan Thibault, Raymond Aguilar, Brad Tritton, all running nice and close here. As Thibault has a bit of a bobble as he tries to get the power down and catch up to Clayton. That may allow Aguilar to get a better drive out of the corner. Aguilar, the number 83 machine. Trying to get around both Thibault and Clayton. Bianchi has his fair share of problems as well. But able to hold on to it, get back in the chase. He's behind Xavier Zanabe. Look at this, here comes Aguilar up the inside line of Thibault. He's gonna make it stick. Now that's what makes these sprint races so exciting. It's only a 10-lap race, no scheduled fuel stops. And that inverted top 10 puts a lot of fast guys towards the middle of the pack. Now they have to cut through traffic, having to be very mindful not to risk their event. Whoa, we might have missed something. Yes, that's a battle for third, I believe. Clayton trying his best to hold off Aguilar while also simultaneously trying to catch up to Ziegler in the number 57 machine. As this is the battle for third on track. John Clayton, the number 41 machine. He's got Raymond Aguilar breathing down his neck. But he is not too terribly what's going on behind us. He wants to catch up to Jared Ziegler and the number 57 machine staying in that draft. And this is the section of the circuit where these guys really have to slow those cars down and get the best drive they possibly can. We've seen Aguilar gain some positions here. As now Clayton looks to the inside line of Ziegler, not quite able to make it stick or comfortably dive up on the inside of the number 57 machine. Aguilar looking for a way around right, and Ziegler has a bit of an off-track moment, able to hold on to it, but he's going to lose a spot to both Clayton and Aguilar. And behind Ziegler, you've got Ryan Thibault and Flo Doms putting on a show of their own. Ziegler in the draft. Is he going to be able to get around Aguilar here? Everybody trying to find a draft partner at the start-finish line straight into turn one. Aguilar is going to have the inside line. Both Aguilar and Ziegler have to be extremely careful here. Any contact could send them careening off the racetrack. Aguilar holds on to third place. And now Ziegler's going to try and defend against Doms and Thibault. This has allowed John Kasai to stretch his race lead his last time by on 154.31. But it's going to be really tough for these guys to hot lap. And look at that. There goes Clayton off track. That will allow Aguilar and Ziegler to take over podium positions here. Doms also picks up a spot, making his way up into fourth. Kasai has the opportunity to check out here. Keep his head down. He's in a very fortunate position. He is not having to battle for positions, as once right as we say that, Ziegler and Doms, I believe, made just ever so slight contact. Ziegler's going to have the outside line. Dobbs looks up the inside line, the number 31 machine. But now the roles are reversed, where it'll be Ziegler able to defend ever so slightly the inside line. But no, Dobbs with a gutsy pass. How much closer can you get, ladies and gentlemen? Look at this massive battle for third. It's Ziegler, Doms, Clayton, Soto all in the mix here, going 2-3 wide down the straightaway. Doms cuts through traffic. Ziegler still has the inside line. You couldn't ask for better racecraft from these two drivers, putting on an absolute show. Doms doing everything in his ability to try and get through here. And while they're battling, that's allowing other drivers to catch up as well. Soto firmly in the fray. You've also got the likes of John Clayton, Ryan Paul, Sparapani, all in the mix here. Dobbs looking for any opening against Ziegler he can possibly find, but Ziegler is not going to make it easy holding on to this podium spot. It is only a 10-lap sprint race. This is allowing your race leaders, Kasai and Aguilar, to really check out here, gaining about a 3.78 second advantage over Ziegler. Aguilar in second. And your race leader, John Kasai, is about 5 seconds ahead of this second pack of drivers. Now it's Dom's turn with the inside line. But as they flick it back to the right-hand side, it'll still be Ziegler able to defend. Smokes the tires ever so slightly, showing just how hard on the brakes he is in the number 57 machine. Who's going to get the best drive here? As it looks like it's going to be Doms, who swerves across the racetrack, throws a block on Ziegler, and that may allow Soto in the number 30 machine to dive it up the inside, and they make contact. Soto able to cut through Doms, and now Ziegler's going to find himself battling for 6th place instead of 3rd. Just like that, things can happen in an instant here at the League Zero sprint races. Five laps remaining for our drivers. Doms and Soto have linked up. They're going to try and whittle away at that 6-second advantage your race leader, John Kasai, currently has. Kasai's last time by a 153.29. Aguilar with his fastest lap in the sprint race at 152.58. This is where Aguilar is arguably the most dangerous, when he's got that clean track and he can put his head down and just hot lap here. Another great battle shaping up. Oh, was that Doms and Soto that made contact? It looked like they did ever so slightly in the final section. This is the battle for 3rd on track between Soto and Doms. As Kasai still having that blinking issue. Soto and Doms putting on a show for 3rd here today. That's great racing all across the track. You've got a battle for first and second, third and fourth, and fifth and sixth here. Everybody finding a partner, somebody to dance with and put on a great show. Dom's looking for a way through, around. Soto not quite able to make a stand. That may hurt his drive out of the corner, allowing Soto an opportunity to breathe here today. But we're going to go back up front. This is the battle for the race lead. John Kasai, number 3 machine. Aguilar, number 83. As they go side by side. Always a great showing. Aguilar takes the position. Will he be able to defend the inside line against Kasai? It appears that is the case, so Aguilar will take over the race lead. Quickly gaining about a half second over Kasai. Meanwhile, you still have Doms and Soto putting on a show, as well as Clayton and Ziegler. There's 2 different battles out on track. It's the battle for third between Doms and Soto, and the battle for fifth between Clayton and Ziegler. Really about to be a 3-car battle for fifth as Ryan Thabal getting closer and closer in the number 27 machine. And that will allow Clayton running fifth on track number 41 and a little bit of a reprieve, a little bit of a break. The moment from Ziegler, steps out the back end. Not sure if he missed the shift or maybe put the power down a little prematurely. As now he'll be about 1.5 seconds back from Clayton. But Ziegler's biggest priority right now is Ryan Thabal, number 27 machine, who is charging up here today, trying to take over that 6th place spot from Ziegler. Asanati has a problem. He has parked it on the start-finish line straight. Let's see if he can get out of the way here. That is a very dangerous spot to be in at Suzuka. As the race leader, Raymond Aguilar, will make his way around. Asanti still has problems. He will smartly return back to pit road. Aguilar's last time by a 152.57. Kasai with a 153 flat. But let's cycle back again to third. Doms and Soto clicking off low 152s here. Doms with a 152.17, Soto with a 152.07. The battle for third really heating up as now Doms will lead around Soto for a little bit longer. Now if Soto is unable to get through traffic in the remaining laps and whittle away the 3-second advantage that Aguilar has in the race lead, this could definitely tighten up the points chase even more. As Aguilar and Soto have been 2 of the cars that drive beat, and Doms has a big moment, able to hold on to it while still blocking Soto. But what a scary moment that must have been for Doms in the number 31 machine. Here we go. Soto looking to make a way around. Dom's not quite able to make it stick here. These guys keep going side by side, wheel to wheel. That is what trust is among your friends and competitors. These guys running multiple times throughout the week together in preparation for tonight's big event. Soto doing everything he can to try and get a little bit more speed out of his number 50 machine to try and get around Doms in 31. But Doms will have the inside line going into turn 1. Man, you can't get much closer than that, ladies and gentlemen. So now Soto will take over the third place spot. With Doms settling in for fourth in the time being, but we've seen these guys go back and forth. Ooh, Doms going off track there. Unfortunately, maybe pushing just a little bit too hard. That's going to allow Soto ample opportunity to breathe here. But now Soto, he's about 3.5 seconds back from your race leader, Raymond Aguilar. He's about 1.6 seconds back from John Kasai in second. His last time by, he's about a second faster than Kasai. But in these closing laps, will he have enough time to pick up another spot on the podium, or will he have to settle for third? One and a half seconds separating Soto from John Kasai. We may still have enough time to see a battle for second develop, as the white flag will be out this time by for your race leader, Raymond Aguilar. And unfortunately, Doms has binned it, as Ryan Thibault and Brad Tritton go door to door, side by side, wheel to wheel, I should say, for these open wheel extraordinaires. Unfortunately, Doms will find himself now 8th on track after that incident in the final section of the circuit. Great racing all across the board. Here comes Jared Ziegler as well, trying to pick up some spots late in the race. Seeing if he can catch back up to Thibault and maybe squeeze his way into 6th. But he's got Doms right behind him, which has been a very, very fast driver when he can keep it on the track here at Suzuka. Ryan Thibault makes a bobble. Jared Ziegler looks under the inside line, not quite able to make it stick. Who's going to have the most momentum here? As this is the final lap for these drivers. Ziegler looks to the inside line. Can he make it stick? He does, but now can he defend against the Bolt? Dom's also in the mix, looking for a few more redemption spots after that incident. Ziegler and the Bolt getting extremely close. Checkered flag will fly for your race leader, Raymond Aguilar. And Russell Soto has taken over second, getting around Kasai. But we are watching the battle for 7th on track right now. And it looks like all of our drivers are going to make it to the end nice and easy. Man, oh man, what a great sprint race from all these guys. But it's going to be Raymond Aguilar bringing home another win here at League Zero. And the results will say feature, but this is actually the sprint race, the 10-lap sprint race of the night. A great run from all of our drivers, as everyone's going to celebrate in style here at the end of Suzuka, burning it down and putting on a show for our fans at home. As always, thank you so much to our fans, friends, and family across the world that tune in and support your favorite drivers, your favorite open wheel series with your favorite broadcaster. We couldn't do it without you guys, and we'll be back next week with even more action. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the League Zero Formula 3 series. Have a great night, everyone.